Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please take time to subscribe down below, hit the little bell button so you don't miss any of my content. And if you came back, hey mamas, I've really been meaning to make this video for a while now because I feel like this is one of the biggest questions that I get asked on a regular basis. But in this video today, I'm going to basically go over 5 things that I wish I knew when I started content creating back in October of 2020. I'll also give you guys more insight into the equipment that I use, like cameras I use, things like that. But I don't know, I want to be a resource, I want to be helpful, and I know a lot of people are very interested in potentially starting content creation. So if that's you, keep watching. For those that are new to my channel, my name is Camille Smith. I am actually a chemical engineer and a full-time scientist, but as a side thing, I started content creating in October of 2020, initially just on Instagram just for fun. Then in December of 2020, I started my YouTube channel and also my podcast as well. So I've been doing this for about 2 years now. I am definitely not I'm not the end all be all. I am not a social media strategist, but these are just things that I wish that I personally knew before starting. Also, please follow me on I am Camille Smith on all social platforms. I am available on Instagram, YouTube, of course, TikTok, Pinterest, and I have a Twitter. I don't really be talking on Twitter. I'm more of like a liker and a retweeter on Twitter, but regardless, I do have a Twitter as well. And I have everything written down. I have everything written down on my phone so I won't forget. But first and foremost, and I think this is honestly the most important, when people start to content create, they always hear advice to niche down. Your niche is basically your main topic or main content pillar that you talk about. So there's natural hair content creators, there's skincare content creators, there's lifestyle content creators, there's cleaning content creators, and all that good stuff. And although I think niches are important and I can see the merit in them, I think that they're valuable, I think a mistake that people make, and what I wish I knew when I first started, is you don't have to niche down. In my opinion, centering your brand or centering your pages around you is going to be way more sustainable in the long run. So for example, my page, I changed my handle to @I'm Camille Smith. Camille Smith is my name. And I really just wanted to talk about things that I personally was interested in. Now, do those things fall into niches or content pillars? Sure. Like I talk about my natural hair, I talk about skincare, I talk about being a Black woman in STEM, I talk about lifestyle and just like travel, because I do travel a lot. But in my head, imagine if I only was a natural hair content creator and that was literally all of the content that I put out. But you know, over time, you know, things are going to evolve. So like, let's say like, instead of doing wash and goes all the time, you know, I started to wear wigs more, or I started to get my hair braided more, or whatever the case may be. Even you can see like there's variation between hair as a niche. So I really tried to, again, make it surrounding me. So as I continue to evolve just as a person and in my content can also evolve with me. Don't pigeonhole yourself from the beginning. That was a long answer. But does that make sense to y'all? Like, does that make sense? Because again, if you look at my pages, like you can see a very wide variety of things. I do have like a way that I create my videos or edit my videos and kind of like brand my pictures, like the colors that are in it and things like that, but like it's not all going to be the same thing. So like my audience is has a potential to be very broad. You know, a lot of people can come to my page and not necessarily be a Black woman in STEM, but be interested in curly hair recommendations, or be interested in skin product recommendations, or they also have eczema, or they also have dry skin, or whatever the case may be. Does that make sense? Just me. All right. Okay, number 2. Always create content that you actually want to create. I think that it's important for content creators to ask their audience for feedback. It's super, super important because you want to know, you know, the people that are actually going to be consuming your content, engaging with your content. You want to know if they like, you know, what you're doing and what they're not doing. But if you continue to create content for other people and not create the content that you want yourself, you're going to burn out. You're going to burn out. You're going to. Because I already kind of went through a phase of always asking in my stories, like, oh, what do you guys want to see next? Like, da-da-da, all this stuff. And again, it's important to gauge that interest, gauge what they're interested in, gauge what they want to see more of, because it also will potentially help you with content ideas as well. But when you start to lean into relying on your audience to tell you what type of content to make, it's not good. it's not good. So really try to avoid that. Create the content that excites you. Recently, Get Ready With Me videos has been exciting me. And it's like perfect because it like kind of fits into my life, and I'll talk about that later, but it's just been super cool. I've been trying to incorporate my own music because getting ready is super like almost like ritualistic to me. Like have to have a good playlist to set the tone for the night or like the day ahead and like whatever case may be. So I'm trying my best to, through Get Ready With Me content or that aesthetic, if you will, showcasing more of like me as a person. And I think I'm doing that. Again, I've recently just been posting a bunch of Get Ready With Me's on my Instagram. So go follow me on there if you don't follow me already. Number 3, charge more rather than less. Now this is not going to be a money talk. If that's something that you guys are interested in, I would be open to potentially recording something with more like transparency. Again, I'm not the end all be all. I am not a content strategist. I do not do this full time. So that's of course also going to affect the rates that I have. But if a company ever asks you to make any sort of video content for $100, that's like literally robbery. Like, do not accept that. That is not okay. I know the rationale when you first start out can be like, oh, well, like $100 is better than not having $100. And that's true. But something that helps me when it comes to like thinking about my rates and like the unavoidable, like not even guilt, but like I guess guilt for lack of a better phrase, in charging people for this, because like at least for me, like I started content creating for fun and now it's become like a source of income, but $100 is not. Please that's like taking someone to an expensive dinner, one expensive dinner, you know. And like your time is just worth more than that. Like even if I don't care how many followers you have, your time is worth more than $100. So always ask for more. You should borderline be scared when you send the email. Always ask for more. They can always either say no or negotiate you down. But either way, don't sell yourself short out of the gate just because, oh, this is my first time working with a brand. Please, I beg you. Number 4, and this has actually been plaguing me a lot recently, try your best not to focus on the numbers. I know that numbers are super easy to latch onto and fixate on, and that's why people do pay attention to them so much. And of course, it also can give a concrete number or a concrete look at how much you've quote unquote progressed, but it's not the end all be all, because there's going to be a point, I'm currently going through it right now, that like honestly in the last like year or so, or 2021, I grew so much. Like I was exponentially growing. Every post, every picture, every video, I was gaining a bunch of followers. But now I've kind of hit like still in inclining, but just like kind of like a plateau. And if you focus too much on the numbers, that can be super discouraging. And it did discourage me. Even on TikTok, like I like grew. I was actually one of the people that like gained, you know, 20,000 followers overnight. Well, maybe not 20,000, it was more like 10,000, but still gained a bunch of followers overnight from like that one video. And like then people, you know, started following me, engaging with me, and I was super happy about that. But if I was only to focus on the numbers and expect myself to grow the way that I already had, I would have already given up on content creating, because that's just not the case. So try your best not to pay attention to the numbers. Yes, are analytics important? Like 100%. I'm not saying that they're not. I think it is important to kind of take mental notes, like, oh, okay, like this video did well, you know, I had a text overlay in the front, or oh, like this picture didn't do as well, but like it doesn't look as quote unquote professional as my other pictures do, like stuff like that. Like that is important to note, but especially when it comes to follower count, please do not hold on to it too much, because you have content creators that are bomb, like absolutely bomb, and have 1K, 2K, 3,000 followers. People just haven't truly seen their content yet, and your time will come. Like I believe that my time will come, your time will come, cool. But if you focus on the numbers too early on, and that's the only thing you're focusing on, you're not gonna last, because it'll just become a mental battle. The last thing I wish I knew when I started content creating was to make content that actually fits your life. I think I personally always did do this, but I will say that like my vlogs or my get ready with me's are so easy for me to put out consistently because I'm literally recording them when I'm getting ready for something. I don't set aside like a separate batch creating day or content day, whether that's once a week or twice a month or whatever the case may be. I don't do that. I literally will record while I'm doing stuff. So again, yesterday I went to a tailgate and I was like, I'm going to just record me getting ready while I'm doing it because that's what I'm doing. For natural hair content creators, also like record yourself washing your hair when you're gonna wash your hair. Like, don't force yourself to, if you can time it right, of course, with like partnerships and stuff, but like don't force yourself to wash your hair, you know, 4 times a week because I don't know, that just like takes up way more time. If I'm gonna wash my hair, then I'm like, all right, how many natural hair videos can I get out of this one wash day? And I'll write them down and try and be more intentional that way, if that makes sense. So it does take a little bit more planning, I guess, to be like, all right, like what am I doing today? What can I record? What would be interested in? What would I be interested in? What would my audience be interested in? But I think in the end, it just makes more sense and also makes content creating more sustainable. I think sometimes people, especially when you start out and even when you're, you know, a veteran in this space, being consistent is super, super hard. So how do you be consistent? You just record things as you're doing them. Of course, giving yourself a little bit more time so that you can like get certain angles and whatever the case may be. But I just think that that's the best way to do it. If you are a content creator, please comment down below things that you wish that you knew when you first started content creating. If you are an up-and-coming content creator, please comment down below any questions that you have. I want my page to be literally just like everyone is cool with each other, being super nice, helping each other the best way that we can. So please, if you have any questions or you have any suggestions, please comment those down below. I would deeply appreciate that. For real though, one thing about these talking videos is your throat gets dry. Whew. Anyway, now it's technology. This is gonna be a super underwhelming portion of the video because I literally have like 3 things. But I make them work and, you know, I'm happy with them. So I, you know, was reading my notes off my iPhone 13. I have an iPhone 13 Pro. I use this mainly to record my day in the life videos, spend the day with me videos, like normally like vlogs, because it's just super easy to, you know, to whip out my phone camera and just use that. All my pictures I also take up my phone unless I say otherwise on my Instagram, at least in particular. If it's like taken by a photographer, I'll tag the photographer. So that's that. For my other content, like get ready with me's, I normally record on my camera, which I'm using right now to record. This is a Sony ZV-1. I invested in it with the help of my family last Christmas and I absolutely love the camera. It's specifically made for vloggers, so like all my vlogs on my page up until this point I've been using this camera. I also put in the description box of all my videos the camera that I use, editing apps, and all that good stuff. And then I only have one tripod and I don't have the actual link for it, but it's like a very normal tripod. It might be like 5 feet tall, fully extended. And I just be moving it around. Like literally, like I promise you, like people always say like, oh, if I could do it, you can do it. But like genuinely, you just have to practice. Like you just have to practice. Find inspo of like other creators, like what angles you like. Whether it's like, if you're doing get ready with me, it's like, do you like the angle of looking directly into the camera? Do you like looking at the camera being pointed at the mirror, like the reflection? Like literally you just have to figure out what you like and then figure out how with what you have you can either recreate that or create something similar or something aesthetic that you do enjoy. But that's really it. I don't have my iPad with me, but I do actually only edit on my iPad. I am looking to invest in a MacBook soon. I currently have a PC, which is fine, but I think moving forward, just having a Mac would be super helpful, especially given that it has iMovie on it already, and I can download other apps that are in the Apple Store onto my laptop. So hopefully for my birthday or Christmas, I'll treat myself to that, or I'll be able to get that for myself. But that's really all the equipment that I use. I feel like that's something that really surprises people. And it warms my heart because people always like, oh, like you have to have like a bunch of stuff to like create the quality videos that you're doing, and it's like, no, like not really. I have Sony ZV-1, my iPhone 13 Pro to record, and that's it. My iPhone 13 Pro is in 4K 60 frames per second. That is important. Definitely change your camera to that. But outside of that, I really don't have much equipment. I do hope over time to acquire more, but I'm still working with a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And y'all clearly like it because you're watching it. So hopefully that's a testament to you do not need a bunch of stuff in order to start at the bare minimum. You can get stuff as you continue. Hopefully that was super helpful. Again, please comment down below if you are a content creator now and I missed anything, or you want to add anything to what I said. Or even if you didn't agree with some of the things I said, and just talk about, you know, what you feel is the best thing to do. I think the best thing about content creating and the influencer space is that there's no one right answer. I think as a scientist and just a STEM person in general, that was very difficult for me to understand initially, because a lot of science and math has, you know, one answer or one way to do things. But the benefit in my eyes of being in this type of space is you can do things a bunch of different ways. And it can be received and engaged with differently. So these again are my 5 things that I wish I knew when I first started back in October 2020. I covered, you know, my technology, and yeah, I promise y'all I will be back and better coming, you know, the next few weeks. And I also am gonna be doing Vlogtober, which is super exciting. So I'm gonna be dropping a vlog. The challenge is every day. We're gonna see. But I think it'd be cute to do like daily vlogs, or like, you know, daily wind downs or life updates, Camille chats. I need to give y'all Camille chat really soon. But either way, I don't want to make this video too long. I appreciate y'all. If you have not subscribed by this point, please subscribe down below. Hit the little bell button so you don't miss any of my content, and I'll see you soon. Bye.